Hey family, so today we are going to talk about the cost of clutter. What is clutter costing us? I was trying to get rid of this clutter that's in my basement. I was trying to do it the quick way. I'm like, I'm just ready to get done. I'm ready to be over it. I'm ready to go on to the next step. And so I looked up how much is a dump truck going to cost me? And the cheapest one that I found was $375. That's not cheap. So just looking up that just made me think, like, what is clutter costing me? Like, what is clutter costing us to the point where we actually have to spend our money to get rid of things that we're not actually using? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So today we're going to talk about what clutter is costing us, how it's costing us emotionally, how it's costing our time, and how it's costing us financially. So how is clutter costing us financially? Clutter can cost us financially by causing us to rent out storage units because we have so much stuff that we have to spend our money monthly to carry things that probably don't even belong to us. Most of the times we're holding furniture from dead people. Most of the times we're holding on to things from our past lives, our past selves when we were in college and stuff. Or our old apartments that we don't even like that furniture. We don't even like that decor, but we're spending our money monthly on a storage unit. Another way that clutter can cost us financially is just lost items in terms of we're going out buying things that we already have because we can't find it in the house. Now let's talk about time. How is the clutter in our home costing our time? How is the clutter in our home taking away from our time? Like I said before, you're looking for things that you already have in your home, and that's time consuming. You're looking through boxes. You're like, oh, I know I have this somewhere. I know I got this somewhere. I know I bought this. And you're wasting your time searching for things because of all of the other things that's in your home that you're not using. Clutter is taken away from your time. And then lastly, clutter is costing us emotionally. Now, this one is a big one for me. Not just because I'm an emotional person, but just because I think clutter, it's the biggest thing. It's costing us emotionally. And I feel like the emotional cost is bigger than the financial cost because we carry that everywhere we go. And so clutter can cost us emotionally by giving stress and anxiety. You're constantly looking at the stuff that you have to handle. I know that's a big one for me. I'm like, oh, that's another thing that I have to deal with. That's another project that I have to deal with. And it causes me anxiety just seeing it. Another thing is guilt and shame. This is also a big one for me, you guys. I feel so much shame. Especially with the stuff that's spilling on the outside of our house. Like I try to hide my face from my neighbors because I feel ashamed that my home is so cluttered to where it's spilling out on the outside, and I shouldn't have to feel like that. And so we have to think about, like, what is clutter costing me emotionally? How is clutter costing me emotionally? And for me, the shame and the guilt is a big one. Because when I see that stuff on the outside of my home, I don't want to be the messy person in the neighborhood, but I am because I have a lot of stuff going on and it's just spilling out on the outside of my home. And so that's how clutter can cost us emotionally. That's how it's costing me emotionally. Clutter can also cost you emotionally by straining your relationships. And this is a big one in terms of like couples. I see a lot of blaming, like, oh, my husband don't never pick up nothing. Oh, my husband is always bringing in stuff. Like, that can cost you emotionally. You love that person, but they're irritating you because they're bringing in crap in your home. And it's like, I just want a clean home. I want to come home to a clean home. And that clutter is affecting your relationship. and it's causing you to blame, and it's causing you to like just not be happy with the space that's supposed to be, your love shack. But it could also be a strain on your relationships in terms of like just your roommates. I was lucky. I had a great roommate, especially in college. I love my roommate. Hi, Mercy, if you're listening, if you're watching. But yeah, with roommates, I know my best friend, she had a big one in terms of just like dish clutter, like just doing the dishes. That can be a big strain. So that is another way that clutter can cost you emotionally. And make sure that you're connected with me on Instagram, because on Instagram I shared 3 ways that clutter is affecting your health, like how clutter is costing you in terms of your health. So make sure that you get that information on Instagram. You guys, I hope this is helpful. I think just by looking at what clutter is taking from us, what clutter is costing us, it's allowing us to fight back. It's allowing us to put our foot down and say, no, you're not going to take from me. You're not going to take from my wallet. These inanimate objects are not going to take from me emotionally. These inanimate objects are not going to waste my time anymore. No. The answer is no. So the clutter has to go. But I love you guys. I hope that this helped. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.